Today, guys, we got Aaron Lopez on here. A lot of people would probably know you from Street Outlaws, I would guess, would be a big part of it. Your car is very clear to see. Like, when Hondas are cool because the cars always have wraps like Formula Drift cars, and domestic cars never really venture into that. So your car is very clear, like, it's just known. Yeah. Everybody can tell when they see it, but sure. You're most known in my eyes as all-wheel drive, fast, cool, that kind of stuff. But I don't really fully know, because you and the car only came on my radar with the all-wheel drive stuff. I don't know I'm sure there was 10 years of pre-stuff that...
Yeah, 15 years prior to that, probably, since it went all-wheel drive. So it's been all-wheel drive about 6 years now.
Okay.
A little over 6 years, yeah.
And it was front-wheel drive before that?
From 2004 when I built it.
2004?
2004, so it's 21 years now.
You see, I didn't want to, like... You think, like, oh, overnight success, but it's like, no, 15 years in the making of...
Exactly. Yep, 15 years in the making. And, you know, what you said about Street Outlaws, that kind of got pretty big. I think everybody knew about that. And then the no prep stuff. And then where I was I'm in Texas, in San Antonio, Texas. And down Texas, Oklahoma, there was a whole ton of no prep racing. And that's where I was at. And so I had some buddies that would go out there and do some stuff. And they would do some top-end racing at our local racetrack. And one of my buddies said, "Hey, like, how come you don't bring your car out here?" And I was like, "It's wrong-wheel drive. Like, it's front-wheel drive for this stuff. It won't go down the track. Like, if it's not on a surface like World Cup, you know, where it's prepped from start to finish, your front-wheel drive, it doesn't go fast. So unless it's on a prep track, then you're turning it down to go anywhere."
Interesting. Is that more of a newer philosophy than the prep track? Because they want, like, different prep now, right?
Right. Well, so that was front-wheel drive. Yeah. So there's such a thing as too tight, right?
Yep.
So our radial prep is too tight for a front-wheel drive car. So that was like a big thing. So I've been going to World Cup. I think this will be my 11th World Cup this year.
Oh, shoot.
And so...
the prep has kind of changed.
Right. So I went a handful of times, and it was too tight. So us front-wheel drive guys would go out there and just rattle the tires and just... annihilate drivetrain parts.
What class were you in at the time?
I was in
Real Street at the time?
It was Super Street.
Okay.
Yeah, right, Super Street.
Because the classes have changed. What was it at that time, like an 850 class, or was it?
So 850 would put you in the middle of the field.
Okay.
So there was Super Street, and then I went to True Street. So Super Street was like a 73 millimeter class, and then True Street was a 67 millimeter class. So that was like an 850 class when the Super Street cars were running like 20s and 30s. Pretty consistently, and then there was a couple on the high 7s. But so I think Jason Miller was also, like you said, was trying to figure out what track prep that these front-wheel drive cars needed, because it was too much, you know. So you would have that condition one time a year. So all your data that you have, all the other tracks, you're like, okay, I got a car that's going to go down the track, and then you go out on this surface, and it doesn't.
And then 20 degrees cooler all of a sudden too.
Yeah. So everybody would be chasing their tail, and not that it was a bad thing, but it's such a thing as too sticky for the front-wheel drive cars.
Yeah. You guys kind of act like a slick tire car in a way.
You have to have wheel speed.
Not you now, but you before.
But you have to have wheel speed. Exactly. Yeah. You can't dead hook the slick.
Even when they do burnouts, it's always funny. I see them, like, they have to really get the RPM up.
Yeah, because it's going to hook quick.
Or that thing's going to break.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, 15 years it was front-wheel drive. And like I said, the buddies like, well, why can't you do that? And it's like, and then I started thinking, I had the transmission apart a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, I was like, well, I can probably, and so all-wheel drive was just starting to come out. Section 8 CLM, they were the first one to kind of like really put them on the radar. There was a couple of all-wheel drive cars prior to that, and they went that, you know, below 8-second pass at World Cup and just kind of blew everybody's mind.
Well, before that, it was like Evos or Subarus was all you saw, and you'd see them hopping down the track and zigzagging. Yeah. You know, like
never
Lucas
straight.
English is famous for his
wall-to-wall
type of
still
stuff.
fast, but
Yeah.
You know, and the way I explain the Hondas is they leave so smooth. I explain them as like rear wheel assist. We're still primarily front wheel drive. Okay, it just you have a little push from the back, and the viscous coupler is the key.
Yeah,
you know, because you get your front wheel speed, and then it lets the front drive shaft spin up, you know, at a different rate than the, you know, behind the viscous at the rear drive shaft. So you never spin the back tire. It's just a nice smooth push, and that's why the Hondas leave so smooth.
Yeah, it's like it looks like they have like a traction control that's just built in. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. And that was the whole thing. It's like
The Honda magic.
right, and that's what I'm getting at. It's like the Hondas were always fast. Like we always had the mile per hour. We could always, but we just didn't have the traction. We didn't have the short track.
Yeah.
And then once we did the all-wheel drive stuff, it was a game changer.
It was cool, and I mean, when you started it 6 years ago, that was kind of when it really popped a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Parts
And
were still cheap and available.
exactly. And so it was really starting to get up there. And then I ended up making my own all-wheel drive bell housing. I don't know if you know that, but so my car is an H22, straight H22. So it's H22 engine and transmission. It's not H2B. There wasn't a lot of aftermarket support for the H series. Hence, that's where my little name slogan team came from, the few H22 crew. There's very few of us.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had my transmission apart so many times. I'm like, I think I could probably make this thing all-wheel drive. And so I did. I mean, I went back to the shop and I bought a K-Series transmission and cut the K-Series transmission apart and cut mine apart and started welding things together. And I made, a bell housing that was functional. I welded it all together and took it out and put just a stock gear set in it just to see if it would drive down the road. And it did. And then so I was like, well, did well on that. And then I kind of launched it on a closed street. And it's like, well, let's go to the track. And so I went to the track with it for something that I welded together. And prior to that front wheel drive, the car had gone 853. I think at 179 was like the very fastest pass I had gone at the time. Front wheel drive, 853. The very first pass, all-wheel drive. And we turned it down a little bit. And the very first pass, it went 850 at like 168. I mean, just like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh. And
Less power, clearly, by the mile an hour.
Yeah.
But yet,
let the clutch
ETing.
out. First 130 something 60 foot. I think it went like a 136 or 138. And it's prior to that, I think the best was like a 149.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like a lot, but huge difference. Like that was the
yeah.
first time I let the clutch out. I was like, oh man, this is what traction feels like,
So, obvious question now, not a Honda guy.
Sure.
Why did you have to do all that? So does the H22 not connect to all-wheel drive?
So correct. So there was
Factory.
Honda never made a all-wheel drive H22 standard transmission.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's an all-wheel drive Accord automatic transmission, maybe in Japan.
Yeah.
I was kind of told. Never a manual, never a 5-speed. So Honda
all
made
the all-wheel drive ones you see normally are
or a B series or a K series.
Got
So
it.
Honda made a CRV B series all-wheel drive version. They made the K series all-wheel drive, K series Element all-wheel drive, but they only made Prelude was their sports car. That back then when they brought the Prelude out with the H22, so they had a 4-wheel steering Prelude, but that doesn't do us any good. But never had a 4-wheel drive.
So the H22 is kind of the big motor.
It was the big block back then.
Yeah.
It was the predecessor. It was prior to the K series. The K series is the big brother.
Yeah.
So
And you can even visibly tell, like, cylinder head wise.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Like,
It's
you put it
huge.
next to a K, and a K is like nice and tiny and compact.
Yeah, exactly. And even compared to the B, the B is super small. They went to a big H, and then they kind of refined it back down to a K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wanted to stick with the H that you knew.
That I knew. Yep. I had a proven platform program that worked, and it was easier for me. It wasn't cheaper, but it was easier for me to make something work. And initially, it was just for me. Just it's like, I want to make my car all-wheel drive, and then it started adding up, and when I had it, reverse engineer, and then I had a CAD design, then I made a prototype, and it's a big chunk of billet aluminum, and so it added up, and it's like, well, I could make just one for a lot of money, or mass produce them, make a bunch of them, and offer them to everybody else. So I think right now, currently, I think I've sold almost 60 of them, 57 somewhere in there, bell housings.
Where do people get them from?
So from my website, thefewh22crew.com.
H22 to go H22.
If you want anything
drive.
all-wheel drive, if you have an H series in any chassis,
Got it.
You buy my bell housing, and then you can use your gear set. You can use a stock gear set. The differential needs to be modified a little bit, but you will have an H series all-wheel drive. You don't need to go H2B. HTBs work, but it kind of leans the motor back a little bit, and so like on some chassis, it's a little tighter. It's about the same price, but you have to change like everything. Like your turbo kit, if you were just a straight H and you wanted to go to like a B series all-wheel drive transmission, it moves the motor, and like your turbo kit might not fit. It would rock it back, and so it's easier just to buy the bell housing, and then everything will stay the same. Like, nothing changes.
Is there an availability thing on the H's versus like a K or a B? Like, because now we're talking cars that are 35 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna start seeing less engines. I mean, even at I don't know, 8 years ago, I feel like Ks were everywhere.
Right.
Every junkyard had so many Ks.
Yes. Even now they're starting hard to find as well. Yeah. I mean, availability is tough. Like, luckily there's enough aftermarket stuff out there. Like with my bell housing, there's a whole aftermarket gear set you can buy. There's several options.
Yeah.
GearX makes a streetable, like a top limiter. It's a synchro helical cut, 4-speed, but you can put a 5-speed in it. So you can buy pretty much everything aftermarket.
Yeah.
And they make a dog box, which is what's in my car is 4-speed dog box. But I run the wave track diffs. Like you can buy a diff. So you need some Honda bearings, some shift forks. You need a donor transmission. It doesn't have to be good.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can kind of go to the junkyard and find one, but
You need something from it.
you do need parts from it. Exactly.
Yeah.
There are some proprietary parts from it. Exactly.
Yeah. Huh. I get that for sure, because I mean, it's similar. I'm more in the LS world, but it's like I always look around and I'm like, guys, you can't just keep blowing through these things. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna run out of them.
Yeah.
I see that with Kyle sometimes with his trans. I'm like, Kyle, they're gonna be hard to find because
Yeah.
of you. Like, you're
Yeah.
gonna make it hard to find for future
Yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah, we've used a lot of them. Yeah, that's Honda people use a lot, and they're still imported. Luckily, they're still coming from Japan, so that still works.
Are you still cast block?
Still class block? That's something that I kind of found the limit last year at H22k. So far, the fastest the car's gone, it's gone 750 at 195. And I'll do a little bit of drag racer math because we all like drag racer math.
Yes.
But so if we were to put like my complete package together, I think on that 750 pass, I was fighting some clutch issues. It was slipping the clutch, and we started making some more power, and just couldn't get a clutch to hold, and finally got a clutch to hold, and then kind of made that pass. And it went 750 at 195. And the best 60 foot I've had before, it's gone 123. Like there was one race that I went to a couple years back, and all we did was focus on the 60 foot. That was it. Like me and my tuner, Jason Herrera, Stupid Fast, been my tuner for 20 years. That's it. So we've had a great relationship. And one time I was like, well, let's just focus on 60 foots. We can make the power out the back. Let's just try to get out the hole. And so we did. And I think we started that day at like 129, 130, 129, 60 foot. And we ended at a 123. Like we just went down. And then we broke a rear gear. And we have a tiny little third member. It's like a mini 9-inch.
Yeah, it's like the size of like my fist.
Yeah. The rear ring gear is like that big. It's tiny.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, we had to back it down. So we backed it down until a company made an aftermarket ring and pinion for it. Skate City Racing. He makes a ring and pinion. So now we started throwing some power back to it. And then kind of stayed that way for a little while, and then started slipping the clutch. It's like it's always something, right? It's always something.
Yep.
And so finally got the good clutch in there, and that was at TX2K this past year, and made this pass and went 750, 195, and that was like a 130 60 foot. And so like if you were to take some of those numbers around, 123 60, 130, there's a few numbers there. It went 498 to the eighth. It's gone 491 before, so
Wow.
it'll go like
That's
high
short tracking really well.
Yeah, it's gone 491. 491, 153 to the eighth is my best short track, and that was not on that 750 pass.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the car would go like a high 730, 738, 742, somewhere in there.
Where does that stack up in like the all-wheel drive world?
So that's what so we were trying to go for it. So it's crazy. Like I was on that top 10 list. There's a Honda all-wheel drive top 10 list.
Is it just Honda?
So there's several.
Okay.
Right, but there's a Honda one. And with my 750 pass, I think I'm like number 12.
Oh.
I was on there. I don't think I've ever been lower than 8.
What's number one? Like how fast?
So number one is Speed Factory, and
Okay.
they've gone 6.
Of course, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The turbo is like a foot out past the bumper.
Yeah, that car is fast. It's always been fast, and it's very
Yeah.
fast. So then after that, number 2, I think it's like a 712, maybe frustrates a K series, and I know Mark's in there. So 17s, 720s.
That puts you in the upper top tier of the list.
Yes, yeah. So that's I was trying to go for it. I really wanted to. Just went to FL2k like about a month ago or so, and I was trying to go that magic number, like a high 730s, high 740, and just to try to get back on the list. Not that it means anything, but it's cool. It's cool to be a part of it.
It's cool to fight on the list. Like
Sure.
it gives
Yeah.
it something to go for, and
Right.
like something real and tangible.
Yeah, and then the only all straight H that's trying to compete with these other cars, and it's either K, and there's fast B series ones out there too. So but it's cool to be the only other one out there, kind of like pushing at that level.
Yeah. Is Miles a B? A
Yep.
B.
Yep.
Okay,
He's a B, and we've been almost the exact same. I went 75001. I think he's gone 75000 or something like that. We both gone 195.
Yeah.
Like our cars are completely, totally different, but yet almost identically fast. And even on the Street Outlaw stuff, I mean, on the street we were running almost identical times, just two totally different setups.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I just know because his car for a lot of people is probably their benchmark of like what car they know from the internet. Because
Sure.
Miles' car's done.
Yep.
He's done a lot of stuff with that in the
Yeah,
last 2 years.
Definitely multi-purpose. He's done a lot. He still does his street driving stuff.
Yeah.
You know, his Starbucks drives, and then did a lot of no prep stuff. He kind of got the itch or whatever after we did the Street Outlaws. He was on the show with me, and then it's fun. And then I did some no prep stuff here down in Florida.
I think he hoped it wouldn't be as hard on parts.
It's hard on parts.
And then he still broke a bunch of stuff, no prep.
Yeah, I mean, his car's really working well recently. He's really putting some power to the back. You know, the car squats, it's leaving really, really good. But then you're asking a lot from the drivetrain parts. And so right now the weak link is the transfer case. And I'm the one that builds the transfer cases for him. And you know, he broke the one at FL2k, and I built one there at the track. You know, it took me like 6 hours to do one there.
Oh shoot, it takes that long?
Oh yeah, it took a while. I did it there, and that one was really, really new. It shouldn't have broke, but you know, he's asking a lot of those parts, and they're
I mean, you're talking a lot of OEM Honda parts.
Well, there's not much OEM left in these transfer cases.
Okay.
But it's OEM sized.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're looking a little pinion gear like this. It's tiny.
Yep.
You know, and the transfer gears are super, super small, and the bearings are small. And then he's really getting the car to squat. Suspension's working. You see the videos or pictures of the car's down.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost rear wheel drive. You know, leaving on a tiny little gear that's this big.
Yep. Yeah, like you compare sizing of that stuff versus like the F-150s that are racing.
Oh, yeah.
That have like full sized heavy duty transfer cases, and you're like, of course those don't.
They're not going to break
like
the other ones. You'll make
do.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of passes.
Yeah. Granted, they make like 3,000 horsepower.
Sure.
But like, you know.
Yeah, but the parts are of size.
Are beefy.
Sure,
Yeah.
exactly.
Especially like that diesel truck. Like he's got a pretty beefy transfer case on that thing.
Yeah. The diesel truck's super cool. Nathan Wheeler. I raced him years back at one of our top end races at our racetrack. He's out of Austin. I'm in San Antonio, so he's an hour and a half from me, and I've raced him before. And we had a really good race. I beat him. Oh, it's probably been 5 years ago.
He street races a lot with that truck.
Oh, now he does. Yes,
He's
now
got that thing.
That thing is figured out. It's fast. It was fast back then. We had a really good race. We met in the finals, and I beat him. And we moved around, and there was some good footage of us kind of getting close and a little sketchy.
Well, it's an interesting combo because it's like you can just keep throwing more nitrous at it or more boost.
Just eats it,
and it just
yeah.
It's not power limit. It's not like what it can put out limited.
Yeah,
it's just limited to dialing it in.
Yeah, it's
not
incredible.
all of us have that problem.
No, and then the weight's an advantage, and they even threw more weight on it. You know, it's.
I always laugh about the weight too because you see it and it's like cut frame rail.
Yeah. Yeah. You cut so much out just to throw it back on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like it's heavy. I'm like, is it though?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if
maybe the motor's heavy.
There was a picture. He's was giving some guys a hard time here recently on the internet. I think just yesterday, and steel roofing quarters are like a thing, right?
Yeah.
And so he has fiberglass bedsides. Yeah. So he's like, well, if I just take them off, then they're not there. But yeah, it's like a tube chassis truck. It's a purpose-built truck. It's a beautiful truck. Very, very nice truck.
I would like to see your car on that all-wheel drive race next year for sure.
So I was in it, you know, and I was on it 2 years ago. I did 2 years ago, and I did like a little 2-for-1. It's, you know, right before FL2k, so it worked out. I did a couple of test passes at home. You know, we don't have a racetrack back where I'm at anymore. We lost our track almost 3 years ago now. So the closest big track to me is Ennis, which is like 5 hours from me. Yeah. But it's top end. It's different surface anyways, right? So I would have to go test somewhere else. And I talked to Manuel before, and he said, hey, you know, I have some places in Houston you can come test at, because you don't want to go out there untested. Like no. I don't want to be a class filler. You know, I went out, I was there the very first one, and the car went fast. I mean, it was my fastest no prep pass I ever went. It went 571, and it was kind of like on a bog and stuff. And that was, you know, a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. It wasn't slow by any means. I lost to the truck that won the whole event, so nobody else beat him too. So there's that, right?
Yeah.
But
second place.
Yeah, right. He took me out first round, but that was, you know, just a tune-up we kind of threw in there, and I haven't really tried testing, and I would have to go out and just put some laps on the car just to dial in for that.
Unfortunately, they're in like the 5 teens.
Oh, you have to run 20s, 30s. Yeah, if you don't have a 530 car, 20s, they're teens already. Yeah, and that's tough. Like
that's cooking.
Yeah, I would love to, but you have to know where you fit in. Like you can't always be the fastest everywhere you go, and your combination it's cool, it's fast, but is it that fast? I don't know. I mean, I could see a 30. I could probably get a 30 out of it. It'd be.
And you're racing people leaving off a trans brake.
Correct.
Which is, I mean, you can gain 2/10 off of, that almost.
Yeah. I mean, we leave pretty good off clutch pedal. I can leave. That's
even with a light too.
Even with a light.
I feel like it's like with a tree. Okay, maybe not as like. But with a light, I feel like it could kind of...
A little bit, yeah. I've left on a lot of lights. I'm pretty comfortable with it, but still, there's an advantage there. Yeah. And then you're banging gears. And that's the other thing, which is super cool. Makes a driver out of you. Everybody else is automatic, let off a button, kind of hang on. No discredit to them, but,
it's just a different form.
It's totally different, right. And then
the
way it applies
smarter way to do it.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's faster, too, right.
It's not the, shifting gears is not the best way to make it down the track. No, absolutely,
it's the hard way to do it, right. Yeah, you're unloading, the chassis, car moves around, it's a lot of things working against you.
Do you feel that in the all-wheel drive world, there's a little animosity towards the Hondas from, like, the Subarus and the Evos that spent years and years to get to the level?
And then we just kind of figured it out real quick.
You kind of just got there almost immediately?
No, I mean...
And they're still kind of dancing around, and now they're all becoming Hondas?
So some of them have adapted what I've told you earlier, that viscous coupler, into their chassis to kind of get rid of that center diff, because the center diff on those, I don't know too much about the Mitsus and stuff like that, but they can only control so much. So I know some people are maybe getting rid of them and then just kind of turning it more like a Honda, you know, and just having the difference in front and rear speed, wheel speed to get them to get smoother. But yeah, I can definitely see where it's like, hey, like we were all-wheel drive first, right? And it's like y'all came and just made it look easy.
They're like, go back to front-wheel drive, please. Like, we want to keep making fun of you guys for, front-wheel drive stuff.
Yeah, and they've been all-wheel drive a long time. And I feel it's tough because they've been just chasing their setups for suspension and just trying to get rid of all that stuff. And it's just
it's just the inconsistency. Yeah. Like, they're fast.
They're fast.
Drawing a blank on his name, the white Subaru that's always raced for years.
At World Cup?
Yeah. But he's fought that car for years and years.
Yeah.
And it's just like they always fight you every pass, and you guys have a consistency that they've just not been able to master.
Right. Yeah, and it's all on basically that they have like a 50-50 split. And ours is, there's really no percentage. People are like, it's like a 70-30. I don't know what it is. It puts down what it does in the front. And then depending on like the viscosity of the silicone fluid in your viscous couplers, how much power or torque you put to the rear tires.
Yeah, because they can't really say a percentage because it's changing.
Exactly.
Once you're on the top end, it's 0% probably.
Right. Yeah. So, right.
It's like 100% slip, I guess. Would you?
Yeah, well.
Almost. Right? Does it eventually kind of just get to a point where it's really only front-wheel drive?
No, I mean, you're only off the starting lines where you get your wheel speed. Mm-hmm. And then after that, the only difference is tire growth, in your front to rear. So like Miles actually runs like a square setup. He runs 15 eighths or 8.5, like all the way around. And there's most of us, even like my car, like I still run a 13-inch 24.5-inch tire in the front and a 15 in the back.
Yeah.
So there's more rubber. The front tire is actually going to grow more. But on the top end, there's pretty much no difference in wheel speed. Like they're pretty much locked up.
Interesting.
Together.
So does your tires probably don't chunk like the front wheel drive cars do?
So not at that rate. Like I knock on wood, I still haven't chunked one yet. And the car's gone 195. In the front wheel drive, and I think what it is that the difference is the amount of weight that I have on the front of my car. Like the front wheel drive cars, they have like 400 pounds of weight bias up there, like a lot of weight. Now my car's heavy. I mean, it's class, it's at class weight. I think at lightest, it's like 26, 25, 26, 30.
Oh, wow. It's got to have a lot of ballast in there then.
No ballast. That's zero ballast. That's its natural. That's its natural habitat.
That's how
natural
it sits?
state. That's it. 26.
Where you hide all the weight in that thing?
Well, some of it's here. No. So the engine's a little heavier. So the H-series is a little heavier itself. My bell housing's a little bit heavier, and then like all the all-wheel drive components are heavy. I think the lightest I got my car front-wheel drive and was like 2415 somewhere in there. 2385, I think. 2385, maybe.
Yeah, I guess the
Somewhere
rear
there.
stuff is pretty heavy, especially compared to what the front wheel drive guys normally run in the rear.
Yeah, so you have trailing arms, like, and so like I run like the OG minor modified wagon trailing arm. Mine are from the little shuttle from the Honda Civic wagon. I cut those, shortened them, plated them, and those are the heaviest ones of the bunch because it's got like a cast iron bracket in the back. And if I were to change my trailing arms, I could probably take 12 pounds out of it, you know. And then I still have a steel hood, steel roof, and it's like. I have a headliner in the car. I have carpet in the car. Some people give me a hard time. My buddy Mark's like, dude, take that stuff out. Like, it's like, I like the way it looks. It's got the factory dash. It's got the plastic in the back. Like, yes, it'll nickel and dime you. Like, it's 2 pounds here, 3 pounds there, 4 pounds here. But to me, it looks good.
Yeah.
And I'll sacrifice that 25, 30 pounds total for just the appearance. Because some people are like, oh, man, like, you still have a headliner, you still have a dash. I'm like, yeah, I still have vents, AC vents. And it's like...
Well, especially if you go to World Cup where you have a weight anyways.
Right, exactly. So why not... Right. You're either going to put ballast in the car to make that weight, or you're going to make the car look like a stock appearing car that looks not like a gutted, tin can like what we're known for years. Like, you drive a Honda Civic, it's a tin can, it's gutted. It's like, no, it's all there.
And in fairness, it's Honda stuff. Like this is not like a 92 Cadillac where it's like you take out the headliner and you're like, why is it 50 pounds?
Right. It's like 2 pounds, right? 2.3, it's nothing. Right.
Yeah, like the little plastics in like an old Cadillac or something are heavy. You have to take them out.
Sure.
Like people with like muscle cars, like they have to gut those things because it's heavy stuff here.
Yeah, this stuff is a couple pounds here, a couple pounds there. Yes, it adds up, but I like the way it looks.
Still streetable?
Still streetable. It can be. I mean, we did the Street Outlaw stuff. It's exact same setup. Like there's same radiator. There's no difference. Same fuel cell. It holds about 4 gallons. The second time we filmed, we had it was like a 20-something mile cruise. But yeah, it runs on the street, no problem. Has no overheating problems, like nothing. You can. I don't drive it on the street. You can.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my car. It's like I can drive it on the street, but I don't want to get T-boned by somebody in that thing.
It's way too much to risk.
It's like it's gonna hurt. I got a cage over here. Like I'm good.
Yeah, don't need to.
It's not that exciting. Like
no.
I always make fun of my friends that have like street cars and they're like, I drive it every day. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You climb in and out of that thing every day? Like, come on. Let's be real.
I did build a purpose-built street car. I don't know if you know about that one. I built a Prelude. I built an all-wheel drive Prelude. That was...
Oh, okay.
So that was because of the TV show, to be honest with you. So I won that last...
Still an H?
Still an H.
Okay.
It's a cookie cutter. It was my backup motor out of the trailer for my race car. Aluminum rod, like it's...
Oh, okay.
Literally, I was on a time crunch and pulled the spare motor out of the trailer and put it in the Prelude. So same drivetrain, same transmission, same wagon rear. I mean, it's identical.
What turbo does it have?
So it's precision 73.9, same thing.
That's a good sized turbo.
Yeah, and that's what I ran on the show, and that's what I'll be running this coming week at World Cup. I'm going to be running limited street class, so class legal turbo. So yeah, big turbo.
Still the 73. Is that the class legal for that?
For
like the 73.6?
73.9. Yeah, for limited street for my class, all-wheel drive is 73.9.
It's like a 73.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's like, wow,
don't
this
worry about the rest.
Turbo is really good.
Makes a lot of power.
Yeah,
that's right. Meets the rules, right?
Yeah,
as long as it passes tech.
I always laugh about some of those cheated up turbos.
Oh man,
pretty aggressive.
They get really crazy. Just don't look too hard because then you'll see all the little.
Well, their new next gen line is so freaking good that it's just like, it blows so many people out of the water on turbo stuff, and it's just, I've seen some back-to-back testing, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I've had nothing but great luck with them. I did Grenade 1 turbo, actually at 2K. It was an 8085. And just broke the compressor wheel right off, and it was laying in the headlight cover there. And so, luckily, Precision was on site. We went ahead and did a little swap-a-roo, and we were back at it. So
the Prelude built just for this.
So
race.
the Prelude was built for the Street Outlaw show because we were about 95% sure we were going to do they were going to film another season. And so, when we filmed the show, the season finale, there was a certain racer, and I won't say his name, but he kind of came up to me right before we started filming. And he's like, hey, Aaron, he's like, really cool car or whatever. He's like, but I just feel like your car doesn't fit the direction of the show. And I was like, okay, like, how so? And he's like,
Prelude?
Well, no, that's Prelude. My race car.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
this is before we filmed.
I was going to say, come on, man.
No, so this is before we filmed, right? And this is before we even started racing. We already filmed our mid-season stuff, and this is coming back for the season finale. So this was 16 of the 405 guys and 16 of the outside teams that got invited back, 2 per team.
So I guess before we go into that, let's zoom out on how the format of the race was. So you were with Jared Holt,
So
right?
I was with Jared Holt, absolutely.
It was teams. People got teams together.
Correct. During the season, I got a phone call from Jared Holt. Knew him from TX2K. We've gone a handful of races together.
Yep.
Great
Green
guy.
Supra,
Green
real
Supra,
car,
exactly. It's fast. Yep. Walks around barefoot. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
Great guy. He sent me a text. I was actually getting ready to go to Vegas for vacation, and shot me a message. And he says, it was 2 questions, and it was like, "Can you drive your car on the street? And are you willing to be on TV?" And I was like, "Yes and yes." So he's like, "Give me a call." So he calls me and says, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "Hey," he's like, Sean and them over there, 4 or 5 guys, like hit me up and they want me to put a team together of primarily imports. They're going to do this revamp show to where they're doing like street cars. And, I've known you for a while. I know you're hardcore. Like, I know you do what you have to do. I know you have some no prep experience because I had already started doing some of the top end racing, some no prep stuff. And he said, "You willing to do it?" And I said, "Sure." And I'm in. I said, "When is it?" And he's like, "Well, it's 3 weeks." It's like, "Oh, wow." And he's like, "Is the car running?" I said, "Yep, car's running. He's just sitting in the shop." And it's 3. So it was 3 weeks from like the phone call to when we did our first film. It was literally a Thursday. Yeah, because our Vegas trip was like a Thursday through Sunday. And it was a Thursday. And 3 weeks straight later, we filmed our show on a Thursday. And so, I was in Vegas, like physically, mentally, I was not there. I was ordering tires and wheels and parts and knowing that when I came back, I was going to have to test the car. Like, I haven't ran on a bare surface. I mean, we did some top end stuff at the track, but now you're going to be on TV. Like, you're going to have to get some things figured out.
I told Jared no.
You told him no?
He asked me, and I had never raced my car. I've never raced my car on a no prep.
Exactly.
And I was like, I'm a disservice to this.
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm not going to dial my car in 3 weeks.
Exactly.
To be a no prep racer all of a sudden.
You put your big boy pants on and said no. Other people would say, "Yeah, put me in. I'll do it." But
And it was in Oklahoma. I was like, okay, I got to get there first and then lose first round.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was 8 hours for me, not bad. But like you said, I've had made some passes on those surfaces before, so I had a little bit of data.
And you're already at an advantage being all-wheel drive.
Exactly, correct. Yep. And so where the real kicker is that slicks weren't allowed. So, all-wheel drive cars on us, no slicks were not allowed. We could DOT tire. So
DOT,
so DOT,
like a Hoosier DOT or something.
Yeah, and so didn't have much time. So that's the thing. And
your size is odd too.
Exactly. So the real tire that I wanted to run was the ET Street. Not the
SS.
No. So I had the SS's. What is it? I forgot.
The R.
The R. ET Street R.
Yeah.
Out of stock. Nobody had them.
And it's a weird size, right?
Right. Yeah. It was a 24.5. Yeah. It was a 225. It's a rare size.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
we're not talking like a 15-inch wheel.
No, or a 275. Exactly. Yeah. Right. So couldn't find them. So I was stuck with the SS, the ET SS, and then I got a big one on there, a big tire. It was like a 26-inch tall tire, but then the gear ratio and the combination really didn't like it. I did a couple test passes on that. Ended up breaking the transmission unrelated to that on a test pass, and I was like, man, maybe the tires are too big, because it was like 26.6, and that's 2 inches doesn't sound like a lot, but a 26.5-inch tall tire to a 24.5-inch tire is
that's huge.
It's a big difference, right?
If I put a 26 on my car, it'd look tiny from the 28.
Exactly.
It would look like you see the 26-inch tire racing, and you're like, oh wow, those look small.
Yeah, exactly. So then time was running out, and I ended up getting a Toyo RR, like R888.
Yeah, because they had the R888, and then they came out with the R.
Correct, right. So the first one I got was R888, and that's like a road race tire. It's not a drag tire. Like it does. You don't know if it has air in it or not. The sidewall is so stiff. There's nothing there on the sidewall.
That's for like your bone stock C7 with a cam type of tire.
Exactly.
Great tire. For a purpose.
Right.
Not your purpose.
Not for not my purpose. But that was the best tire we could get at the time, and so I did that one, and so we filmed the first show with that tire, and it did well. I won my 2 races there, and then I was told that the RR was a little better. And so then for the season finale, I got the RR, and that's what I put on there. Mm-hmm. And that was just to try to make it fair, because like I said, they didn't want us to have slicks. Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were running a full slick, but they could run a full slick,
Wow.
but we couldn't, and
Just the import team couldn't run a.
yeah, all seemed like it, but all-wheel drive, yeah,
Okay.
all-wheel drive cars.
The all-wheel drive
all-wheel
cars
drive
couldn't run a slick.
couldn't run a slick.
Weird. I wonder how they even came to that rule. Because it's not like those guys are that in the know on all-wheel drive Honda stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Like my car's public. Like I post all my times. Like and word got out that they were worried about my car. Like and you never like the fastest car doesn't always win, right? And at that time, my car had gone 760 somewhere in there on the racetrack, and they were like, "Oh, that car, it's like that's on a racetrack, that's on a slick, that's not on this surface.
Yeah.
Like that's a totally different car. Like that is not the same car. Like you're worried about the wrong combination.
Yeah, you're not bringing a 760 car.
No,
and expecting to
it's
do
on a prep
that.
track. Like I'm not bringing a 760 car to race on bare asphalt.
Yeah.
So they figure it's like, well, we'll dumb them down and put them on a DOT on a drag radial. Like that's a DOT tire, so it's gonna.
And how are the
even the playing
rules
field.
being made? Are they negotiating? Is Jared negotiating with them on their behalf? Or is this like,
That was it.
you're coming
It was
to
told,
us,
"You're
we give
coming
you
to us."
your rules?
That was it. You're coming to us.
That's
These are your
lame.
rules. You play by them or not.
Yeah,
and
I get it, but it's like,
It's
this
an opportunity.
should be a back and forth.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it's an opportunity. You can only fight so much. You're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just do it. And it worked out well. Like if you watch the races, they were super close. Like it was nobody really drove out of anybody's lives, and it was very, very close racing. And so, like I said, getting back to that is that we were about to film the season finale, and we look at my car, and he was like, your car doesn't fit the direction of the show. He's like, if you look at our cars, and it's a '69 Camaro and it's a Monte Carlo, and they're super cool sports cars. They're muscle cars, but no stickers. Like
it's the wrap.
No wrap, exactly.
It's the wrap. It always gets
loud.
people.
It pops, right? And so I told him, I said, it's like if you take all the stickers off the car and you take the wrap off the car, like it's not going to perform any different.
Regular traffic.
Yeah, it's not going to perform any different, right? And so so we end up going, and I end up winning the show, and it was like a photo finish, and still to this day people don't think that I won, but I won. They called it. It was their show. They could have easily said that they won, but Sean and all them, I give them hats off to the super fair guys. There's just enough footage there that I just got them by an inch or so, and which was great.
My experience with Sean is he's honest on who won the race.
Yeah,
if it's them, he's like, yeah, we sucked.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it was their show. He could have easily said, oh yeah, we won, great.
Or ran it back,
right? And no, it was fair, and that's
cool.
Yeah, super much respect to that guy for it's an import. Like that was the last show that they really filmed. I think they did some of the No Prep King stuff, but that was it. That was the last Street Outlaw show they filmed, and Team Import finally won it. Like a Honda all-wheel drive Civic won it, and it's like that's crazy. If there's never another opportunity for it to happen again, like nobody else did that, And
I felt like I was a little disappointed that they on their side, their cars didn't seem like they took it seriously enough. They kind of were joking a little bit, and like they brought some cars that were like less like. Not all of them, but a couple of them were like they brought like some daily driver that they had to dust off.
Well, you think about it, like their race cars, they're full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Like this was a blast to them. Like it was fun. Like they enjoyed it. And so that's when we're talking about it, and we were like I said, 95% sure that we were gonna film another show. We had to get invited back. We're outsiders. Like we would have to get invited. It's their show, not ours. But we were pretty sure. I mean, being that Team J-Rod or Import, we won. The chances of us getting invited back were going to be pretty high, right? And so all those guys, from what I understood, and a little bit of that I got to speak to them, is that all their cars were ready. Like they got them ready for a whole nother season. And then they went to go film in Australia for like a month.
Yeah.
And so that following year, they had about a 6-week break in their schedule. And that's the exact same time that we filmed the year before. It was in July. It's super hot. But so before they left to Australia, like all their cars were done. Like they were ready to go if we were going to film another show. And then that's where the Prelude came about. So we filmed in July, and then it aired. It didn't air till March, I think, is when it aired, February or March of the next year. But I went to PRI after filming the show, and I had a good friend, buddy of mine, Julian Mungia, Magic Films. He did all my media stuff, and he made me like a little highlight reel because we had, I had GoPro and 360 footage of all my passes, and so it couldn't be known public that I won, right? Because the show hadn't aired yet.
Yeah.
But I could show it privately, say, hey, like this is the outcome. So I went to all my sponsors, and everybody's been with me for a long time, and say, hey, look, this is what we did. It's going to air next year, but I need to start building another car because this car is not going to be welcome back because we already got a heads up of the rule changes. So no aftermarket front ends, like no wide front ends, no fiberglass front ends, no hood exit exhaust, no wraps, nothing like that. So it's like, that's my car in a nutshell, and I'm not going to change the front end. I'm not going to take the wrap off. And then one big thing that a lot of people don't know is that my car had a 25.5 in it prior to the show. So I had to cut the funny car cage out of it for the show.
Oh, wow.
And so Jared's car, he didn't cut the 25.5 out. I don't know if people know that. So he ran the first show with it. And then when they invited him back, they said, hey, you're going to have to cut it out. And so he took himself out. His car was fast. It would have done well. But he didn't want to kind of cheat the system and be like, hey, it's not, everybody else did it, but I didn't. So he pulled himself out of the hat. Because he wasn't going to cut the cage out.
Yeah, and that's a big job to do. I mean, it sucks to cut a cage out of a car.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
depressing.
I did all my testing at home, and that was the last thing we did before that car went in the trailer to Oklahoma. Was took a sawzall to cut the funny car part out, and it was just because when they filmed, they wanted the cars to look less race car-ish, right? And so,
of course, I mean, they were trying for street cars. They were a lot of those cars were like on the muscle side of things, I guess you would say, like those cars were very streetable.
There were some X275 cars in there that were that slipped in that cut the cage out as well. So there were some fast.
Okay.
There were some race cars in there.
It's been a minute since I saw it.
there was a couple of race cars there. So mine wasn't any more race car than some of the ones that were there. Yeah. So that's when I went to my all people at PRI, all my sponsors, and said, hey, this is what we think we have coming maybe this next year.
And this was what, 21, 22?
22.
Okay.
22 going to 23.
Yeah.
Right.
So people thought the show was like getting its second wind.
Right, exactly. They revamped. And so like I said,
they tried a couple new things.
Right. The race cars are full-time jobs.
Yep.
So they were enjoying this stuff because like, man, this is like back to the roots. Like we can race these cars and have fun. We don't have to tear the motors down and rebuild them. And it's like, it's fun. So they really enjoyed it.
Well, like No Prep Kings had so much success at that time too.
Right. And that was their
country.
Exactly. That was their full-time job. And this was fun for them.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, there's an opportunity here. Like they enjoyed it. And it's like, okay, cool. Let's do it. And so knowing that I wasn't going to put my car all the way, take all that stuff, cut the cage back out, make another front end for it. Like all that's like, you know what? It's easier to build another car. Not really, but it gave me an excuse to build another car.
Of course.
Right.
You had a spare motor. You had to build another car.
Yeah, we can build around that.
Yeah.
And so then that H series, H22, and I love the Preludes. I've always loved Preludes, one of my favorite cars. They were kind of ahead of their time. Square, kind of more futuristic back then in 2001. 97 to 01 is the 5th gen body style. That's my favorite. Even the one before that had like the digital dash. I don't know if you had the real wide dash. It was like super, looked like a space shuttle inside. So they were always ahead of their times. And I said if I had the opportunity to build another car, I would build a Prelude. And that's when this came about. I was like, well, shoot, if I'm going to build a street car, like I already have the drivetrain. I already have engine, transmission, like all of that is Prelude stuff anyway. So let me just build a Prelude chassis. And so and I told everybody who jumped on board, it's like, this car will have 0 stickers. Like, thank you. Like, I'll give thanks to my sponsors.
Yeah.
But we went from all the stickers to 0 stickers on the car. And they all knew that going into it. Because the show, like, that's what they wanted. They wanted a stock appearing car. And that's what this car is. Like, the bumper is not cut. Like, it is, besides the tire and wheel package that's on there, I did a drag and drive this past couple months ago at King of the Open Road, and I put stock Prelude wheels on there, painted them black, and it looks killer. It looks like a stock Prelude. It's wrapped.
Yeah.
But
what does it have for safety? What kind of cage? Just
so
like
it's got A50 cage in it. I put A50 cage in it.
Yeah.
It didn't have one at the time, but it's got swing outs, but it's tucked.
Yeah.
I did the cage, and you can't even see the cage. With the windows down, it's fitted so nice. You don't even know there's a cage in there.
I was thinking for like other drag and drives because there's a lot of other cool ones.
You have to have it.
Awesome to see.
Correct. Yeah. And so I built that car exactly. So if I was going to build a street car, I wanted to do a dual purpose car. I built a drag and drive car.
Yeah.
So it's a drag and drive car. It's got 2 radiators. It's got the radiator in the front. It's got a remote radiator in the back.
That's
I live in Texas. Like we did a couple of test drives and there's no airflow. The Prelude grill is like this big, and then you have a big intercooler in there, and there's like no airflow. So no matter what you did in the front for heat management, I did deflectors and wraps, and is just not enough airflow. So then I put a remote radiator in the back, and that took care of it. Now you can idle all day long, 185 degrees, no problem.
Why do more people not build Preludes? Like, you never see them in front-wheel drive classes. You never see them in all-wheel drive.
There wasn't that many of them. Like, it was the most expensive car Honda built at the time. It was prior to the S2000.
Yeah.
So I don't know production numbers, but there wasn't a lot of them.
Yeah.
It was like a $30,000 car, a 28 somewhere in there back in 2000.
That was their hot rod.
That was their hot rod.
Well, aside from like the NSX, but that was in a different world.
Right. That was the exotic, their exotic sports car.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So there wasn't a lot of them, and there was like zero aftermarket support. Like nothing. It wasn't a B series. Like, back then, people would buy the Acura Integra. The GSR had a B series, and then people would put a B series in their Civics. But there was so much stuff. You could buy everything and anything was made for a B series because there were so many of them.
Yeah.
And the Prelude was very, very few of them.
I always wondered if it was like a weight thing. Like, you couldn't get them light enough.
I mean, they're heavy. I mean, my Prelude is super, super heavy. I mean, with enough work, you can make anything light.
Yeah.
But it's a heavy chassis. And it's a little optical illusion. It looks like a big car, but wheelbase wise, like I want to say an inch shorter than a Civic. Like it's short, it's wider. It's a wider car. It's got a wider wheelbase stance, but it's actually a shorter chassis. It's got a really long front end. You kind of sit like, it's like I heard a long time ago, like the back seat's like a glorified shelf. It's tiny. Like there's no adult that can fit in the back seat of a Prelude unless you sit like Indian style.
It's there for the insurance.
Exactly. It's there to fit for 4 people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't a highly modified vehicle, for drag race stuff. Like there's a handful of them out there. They're super cool. I mean, they're rare. I think I finished my car and there was a handful of front wheel drive ones out there. Mine was the first, I guess, with my bell housing, the first all wheel drive when I finished it. I gave everybody a couple, maybe almost 3 years to get their all wheel drive Preludes running, and I wanted other people to do it, and I was like, well, shoot, I'll do it, and then so I made it, and there was no 8-second Prelude yet, so I was the first 8-second Prelude.
Okay, because Kyle has that one.
Correct.
That holds fastest front wheel drive maybe or something.
He had a long time ago. Yeah. So there was no 8-second Prelude yet. Mario was actually the first one to get into front wheel drive into the 8s. Okay. So, but I beat him by just a few months. But it's totally different chassis. That's apples to oranges. Front wheel drive to all wheel drive. It's way harder to go 8s on a front wheel drive car than an all wheel drive car.
And did that already have I know they already have the tunnel for that stuff, right? Because that's where the exhaust normally goes. So they already have the location for it ish.
I mean, for like a drive shaft and stuff like that, no. I mean, besides you going where the factory exhaust tunnel was, it works perfect for a drive shaft.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
that's always been funny because cars that weren't designed to have that
still has a drive shaft
location.
Tunnel. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, why would they have a drive shaft tunnel?
Yeah, I think the Honda chassis, the RSXs don't. So when they would do like an RSX, all-wheel drive RSX, they had to cut a little tunnel back there. Like Javier's, I don't know if you saw that.
Yep.
He had to cut a little something because
I didn't realize
it hits the floorboard. Yeah. The drive shaft, to get it where it's supposed to be, it'll hit the floorboard. So just at the very back, you have to do like a little tunnel there. But yeah, all the other Honda chassis, the Civics, Integras, they all have. It was for the exhaust, but works perfect for a drive shaft.
So dumb question.
Yep.
Is there no automatic solution? Automatic trans?
No automatic trans.
Because that surprises me that there's not been anything that floated up at all. Like, oh, this one kind of works, and
for the Hondas, no. There's some DSMs.
The SRT4, I've seen some auto trans work.
Right. Yep. And those were, I guess, I don't know much about them, but I think just the clutch packs and what they had in those cars back then were much bigger. They were like the Chrysler stuff, they had a chain. They were like a rear-wheel drive transmission, but transverse type, so there was a lot of big components.
Them not knowing how to do things worked in their favor later on.
Right. And so
it has Honda, a real full-size torque converter.
Right. Nope. And Honda's they designed all their stuff super small, fuel efficient, power efficient, all that stuff. Complete opposite of to put big power in. Yeah. You couldn't do it. So
Chrysler just didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
They still don't.
Big. Well, yes, correct. Transmissions,
they didn't at the time.
Right. So all the Honda stuff was really small. I don't know of any automatic Hondas that put more than 200 horsepower down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
because they've made so many. You'd think something would have worked at some point.
No, nobody. Not that. And I don't know everybody.
Yeah.
But nobody's tried it. Nope. Yeah.
Even I guess I don't really know the Evo or DSMs. I'm just thinking other all-wheel drive potentially.
There's some 7-second DSMs that run. They're automatic trannies. Those work. Those do work. There's a couple out there, and they work fantastic. But Honda wise, nope, nobody.
Yeah, it's always been weird to see that, because you'd think that the R&D would be happening, but it's just not even worth doing.
No, yeah, I don't know if it's because there's zero.
Such a big market.
There is, but there's nothing to start off. Like I think just because of sheer size, you can't start with a Honda transmission. You have to just revamp everything.
Yeah.
When you have no base to start off, it's difficult. It's too much money. Like unless you have endless money and you're bored. Yeah. You want to make your own one-off.
You don't want a clutch pedal that bad.
Right, yeah, no.
You're going to spend tens of thousands to not have a
build
clutch
a different
pedal.
car. Yeah, build a different
car. The only auto one I've ever seen was Bully, that Brett made.
Yeah, and that was a different
Power
transmission.
glide, going backwards at one point and then going right away.
That thing's wild. Yeah,
because that was a pro front-wheel drive at the time.
Exactly. And it looked like a pro front-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Which was a really cool class. It'd be interesting to see that kind of...
Oh my gosh, the cars would be so fast nowadays. And with the technology we have now, what they were doing back then, when I got into it, like I said, I built my car in 2004. Like that was when NHRA Sport Compact was just dying off. Like it was huge. Like we had NHRA, like professional deal for Sport Compact. Like it's, oh my gosh, like it's our time to shine. Like we can kind of be like the big boys, right? And so that's got my attention, and then that's when I got into it. And then the economy tanked, and then all big corporate sponsorships dropped, and GM dropped all the pro front cars and Mopar, and so it just went down. And then it went to just grassroots, like smaller racing. And then that's I did import face-offs for a long time. With Cliff, and did all of those little small events, and kind of kept it going. And now it's kind of coming back up, but it'll never be till that we're corporate sponsors. They're all out of it.
I'm always impressed by import face-off, man, because they just like Cliff just keeps chugging along. Like I don't know him, but he's just got a process going. He does. Just works.
He tailors to his market. And I raced a long time with him, and he sees what works and just goes with it. So now he has like at every one of his races, it was a drag race. Like there was races, and so now like certain areas, there's not that many race cars, but there's show cars. And there's burnout. People love burnouts, and there's sound competition, and people like to go hang out. But when there was only like 20 cars showing up to race, well, he cut the racing, like the class racing, but still has the track open for test and tune.
Yeah.
And so, but then everybody can go hang out. You can still go hang out, and you can have your car show and your burnout and all that stuff. And so he's made the changes. He does like low car limbo and what people like, and that's how he did it. And that's why he's still around. He runs, I don't know, 30-something races a year. Like it's
crazy to me.
It's a lot. Yeah, sometime on double weekends, and I used to work some of the shows for him. I ran so many of them, then I would go be like a race director at some of them, because he couldn't be two places at one time.
Yeah, of course.
So he'd fly a crew out to one race while he's doing another race. And then he even upped the payouts for the racers at the big races. I think the front-wheel drive class is like $2,000, which is great for like a $40 entry fee or $60 entry fee. That's a good little payout, for 3 rounds, a couple rounds of qualifying.
For sure.
And you go 3 rounds of racing, $2,000.
Well, he's got the consistency too. Like people that show up at that race know they're gonna have a good time and race. Like you don't always know that at every event, but I feel like he also doesn't get the recognition and publicity that he kind of deserves for running an event that long.
For that long and keeping it going.
Events and that much I've never heard like negative things besides like people that are like, oh, the limbo stuff's stupid, but it's like that's what they go for. It's like it may be stupid to you, but that's what they enjoy.
For. That's exactly you right. Please them, give them what they want, and like the racers, without the car show people, we wouldn't have a place to race.
Yeah.
In the sound off competition, it's loud, whatever, but without all that, there's not enough of us to have our own event of import Sport Compact, import whatever. So that's why he covers all the bases and still made it happen.
And it's people are getting their price for admission when they can go see 10 different things. Like it's hard to get people to a track. It's hard, especially now. People are like, oh, it's $45 for 2 days. It's like, oh,
yeah,
I got 2 kids with it. I got a wife and a kid. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it adds up. Yeah, I don't know what they are now, but I mean, it was like $17 or like $15 with a flyer to get in. Like it was really cheap, like really bang for the buck. It's a 1-day event, so you get in early and you're out early. They're usually done by like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you'll see a couple rounds of qualifying and all the racing. And so it's a good event. Cliff's done. He's been in a long time and he's got it figured out.
Yeah, that's cool. And then we can pivot to World Cup.
Ooh.
Everybody's most stressful favorite event.
Man.
It's like people always say Duck Week, but they don't give World Cup that same recognition.
No.
Like Donald Long gets like, oh, it's Duck Week, but it's like,
I guess in certain areas we get we know.
Yeah,
what
we
it's
know.
like, but not everybody knows.
It's
what
painful.
Like. It is.
Like
Yeah.
right now, it is Sunday night, and people are going to be lined up in
Hours?
I don't know, 4 hours from
Something
now,
like that,
5
yeah.
hours. Like as soon as he lets them,
Yep.
they're going to be lined
Exactly.
up
As soon as
Monday
he's let them.
morning.
Right. Yeah. They'd be
For-
up there now if they could. They're probably staged around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just can't
Somebody
be
on
on
the parking
property.
lot might be renting up the street
Yeah.
to get first.
Right. They're at a
to
truck
get
stop.
first dibs.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like you're sitting here, you're late.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. It's crazy. It's come a long way. This is my 11th year. First came in 2013 was the very first time I came to spectate and I knew of it. And then came to spectate, and then once you're there, it's like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
I got to be a part of it. And so I've been coming since 2014. Every year, I haven't missed a year yet. I think I said this was my 10th year. I put on my social media, and it's actually my 11th. It's my 10th. I have an RV, and so it's just little things, right? So it's like rig, like tow rig parking. So this will be there's 9 stickers on there on my side window. Pretty soon I'm not gonna be able to see out the side window, but who cares about that? The stickers are cool. So this will be sticker number 10 that'll go on the window this year.
You have to take that window with you when you sell
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's like, nope, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
All those stickers are a lot of money.
Sorry, those are coming with me.
Yeah. And
It's like the qualified sticker.
Exactly,
Like those
yeah.
things are like gold.
yeah, I came a handful of years, didn't even qualify.
Yeah.
And it's a thing. Like it's the fastest of the fastest, around the world. It's called World Cup Finals for a reason. Like cars are shipped in.
Yep.
It's the fastest of every class out there. Import, domestic, the combinations. Jason Miller does a great job on getting the parity. Like some big block nitrous car to a 4-cylinder with a turbo, all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and they know how to at that weight at this turbo size.
And he's guessing on some of those because like that big block nitrous car might not have ran quarter mile. He doesn't know what he's about to do.
Yep. Sometimes there's a swing and a miss, and then there's a rule change. So, but it takes that one pass to say, ooh, that car's a little bit outside. And then next year, there'll be a revision, whether turbo size goes down or add weight to a car or something like that. But people want to see side-by-side racing.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
I think it was Ronnie Rhodes that had the swing. He's sat in that chair, so I can.
Okay, I can
point out.
There's one of those cars,
and it wasn't.
He
his
was
fault.
lifting like that car.
You can
so
see the
fast.
candles go out at 1,000 feet,
foot,
and you're like,
just
the
coast to it.
nitrous
It's
is
like-
off.
Yeah.
And I saw Fran like still trying to catch him in the Corvette.
Yeah.
And it was just he couldn't. That car was just too fast.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
an 8-mile
happens.
car. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like
it might have been a small block at the time, but whatever. It was like
Sure.
he missed.
Yeah, he missed.
He missed on the rules because he didn't know what that car would do in the quarter mile.
Because he never did it.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
But it happens. That's how this game kind of gets played.
But he makes the changes, appropriately, and we'll see how it goes.
But we're also talking about a car where if other people tried that combo, they'd blow up every pass.
Sure.
If other people tried to run
Right.
a nitrous car to the 1,000-foot,
Right. Well, he's got his combination figured out.
Yeah.
And it's that one car that can run those numbers.
Yep.
But unfortunately, and fortunately for him, he can do it, but also, shoots himself in the foot because now he's had to slow down. So it's like.
Yeah, it was clear. I think Jason knew right away.
Yeah.
Like, darn.
Yeah. When you're good, right? You're too good at what you're doing, and it's like,
And we're talking about a car that won Ultra Street,
Right, very
like the whole
consistent.
class.
Yeah.
So it was like
very consistent.
he's going to make it each round. Like
Sure.
some cars,
Right, dead
you can
consistent.
see him light the boards and they're like, wow, that was amazing. But you're like, you're not making it to round one. I
No.
just feel it.
Yeah, that car's been around a while. It goes round after round after round.
Yeah. And you've seen enough cars where you're like, that was cool and all. A Hail Mary pass.
Right. Yep. There's always those. Yeah. And so that's one thing that Jason Miller's is kind of changed is those cars because it was known for that. It's like going out and just setting records. Like that's the one time people will throw things together and it's like, I'm going to make one event a year and it's going to be World Cup and I'm going to go fast once. And then everybody knows they kind of became like oil down nationals or oil down, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm a Honda and it was primarily us Honda people. But he's made some changes there, to try to fix that. This past year, like for the kind of little slap on the hand of the front wheel drive cars, and it's a double-edged sword, right? Because you're going out there trying to go as fast as you can, so you're going to find the limit, right? So it's like people are like, well, he wants you to go as fast as you can, but yet, well, don't blow it up. It's like, well, things are going to happen. Like, it's going to blow up.
The rules are designed to make you have to run at the ragged edge.
Right. Yeah, you have a turbo limit, so it's going to be all in. Like, that's it. So if that's all the turbo makes, guys are going to find other ways to make the power on the motor, to be the ragged edge. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. The fuse gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and to where he got pretty bad, the past couple of years. And so this year, he kind of put a little rule change out to like billet blocks only, and kind of upset,
But billet blocks for K's only, right?
For B's only.
B's only.
B's only, because those are the primarily the ones that were blowing up the most.
Yeah.
And so he made some rule changes there because it didn't go over as well. I mean, everybody expected it. Yeah, that's
he had to know.
Yeah,
when he hit send and put his phone down, like, all right.
Oh man, it was seconds. Yeah, before he was like, ooh, that was maybe not. So he did
$1,000 per oil down was what he was pushing for.
Right.
But he rolled that back.
Yeah. I think it's 500, I think.
But you still only get 2 warnings.
Correct.
And that's always been the thing.
It was always like that. Yeah. Correct. And yes, and like, don't do anything dumb. Like, if your car, like they repeat it time after time, if it doesn't look right, feel right, smell right, pull over. Like, and that's what goes anywhere at any race. Like, just pull over, stop the car. And I've done it plenty of times. I've broken plenty of parts. I've rolled down the track as well. But if something is not right, just pull over, stop, and they'll either push you off, or you don't even have to get out of the car. They're there. By the time you're stopped, they're there. Like, are we good? Yeah, we're good. Can you fire it up? Yep, I can fire it up. Fire it up, drive it off the track. And there was guys that weren't doing that. They were just all the way down, like if they didn't know what was wrong.
Oh, I mean, I've seen horrible, like, just smoke billowing out the back, and they're just in the throttle, and you can hear it.
You can hear it.
You can hear it laying over.
Sure. Yeah.
And they never lift, and you're like, how can I hear it laying over? And you can see the RPMs are not climbing, right?
Yeah, like exactly. I'm one of those people at the starting line. If you hear, I'm like, lift, lift, lift. I'm yelling, screaming, lift. They can't hear you.
Yeah,
but still, it's
please.
like, please lift, because it's a matter of seconds before you get that magic.
I've been in my car and I heard it and I just unbuckled.
That's it.
Like, all right, well, this will be a minute.
Yeah.
You can just tell that something's about to let go. And like, it's not just Honda stuff. Like, it's
right.
Everybody lets stuff. I mean, even the quarter mile cars, once they try to run them out the back.
Well, 8th mile cars, they go quarter mile.
Yeah. Once the 8th mile cars try to go quarter mile, like,
big difference.
Things start to break. Things start, like, windows are flexing in and ripping out.
Oh, they're losing doors. And I mean, they're 250 mile an hour plus out the back now. It's insane. 260 last year. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's nutty stuff.
It's fast. It's an experience. It is, like you said, it's Sunday night right now. I just came from actually Kyle Wade's shop right now, and I'm actually working on my car. I ran FL2k a month ago.
Yep.
I've done this once before. Kind of leave it here. It's 1,700 miles from my house to World Cup. It's 1,200 miles from my house to Bradenton, and it's 900 miles from Bradenton to.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to go all the way
3
back.
3 weeks later, drive 1,200 miles back, and then 1,200 miles back 3 weeks later. And so, you always hope for the best, and you hope everything's figured out, and your car is healthy or whatever. And I have backup parts, and I got a backup motor and backup motor and tranny in the trailer and all there. But I've had I had a misfire issue back in May. Like I said, there's no road track. Thought it was I had a loose ground. Thought it was maybe coil packs. Put some coil packs on the car, and then let it sit for a couple of months. It came to FL2k, and then I was running all-wheel drive versus DCT. I didn't want to go stick shift. I ran stick shift TX2k, and I actually won stick shift at TX2k this past year. Maybe a little bit of luck, but it's survival of the fittest, right? So won that one, and then stick shift is fast, especially over here at FL2k, and Vic does a good job of breaking all the classes up. So there's like three different classes, but nobody wants to slow the car down, right? Yep. And so it's like, my car is just fast enough to be in the bottom half of the fast field. 750s, maybe a 740, 730. But there's 6-second cars out there. Of course, drag racing, anything can happen.
And there was quite a few.
Right, exactly. But, anything can happen. And it's like, you know what? And I don't like change, but every now and then I don't mind changing classes. Like, I've changed classes at World Cup, I think 3 different times, because I'm tired of being a class filler. I want to be out there and go competitive. I like to win. setting records is cool. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know. It's something about winning.
It's a long drive to be a class filler.
It is, right. And so I wanted to change classes. So I went to all-wheel drive versus DCT class because I kind of looked and I'm like, I think a 750 car will be pretty competitive.
And it's kind of a new thing.
Yeah.
It's not really like everywhere yet.
No.
And, you know.
And it's cool. It's because you have the Lambos and R8s and GTRs and those really
400 Pro Tree or Sportsman Tree.
Sportsman Tree.
Sportsman
So
Tree.
that was
You watch it, you
difficult.
just like go
oh my
down.
gosh, I haven't ran a Sportsman Tree.
Feel like
in
special ed.
50. I didn't say that, but everybody has their class. Okay, now we can race too, guys.
But how the tree works makes you feel like special ed a little bit. You're like,
It's been a long time since I did that, you know, and so it took me. And I was worried about that. I was like, dude, I haven't ran a Sportsman Tree in decades.
no one does.
Yeah.
No one runs a Sportsman
Unless
Tree.
you run a bracket race, you know, unless you bracket race the car.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, even index stuff is heads up, 400 Pro Tree, right? So, but those cars, they that's the way they leave, and that's fine.
Yep.
And when you sign up for that class, you know what you're getting into, right? And so, and I knew that. But I went out there and I wanted to go fast, and there's no turbo size limit for my car, and so I was trying to go out there to go fast and be competitive and try to, you know, it was $10,000 payout, a good payout, you know, and so
It's an awesome payout.
that's great, huge payout, fantastic.
Yeah.
And-
Chances are way higher, too.
Yes, and so went out there and my crazy Misfire was still there and ended up changing some plug wires. And I made one pass, made a Misfire. I had put new coils in the car and it still had the Misfire. Second pass, put plug wires on it, cleared the Misfire up, but car won't make the power. Like it just, I think the fastest pass of the week, I went 8.0 at like 174. And we tried all kinds of stuff. I mean, I changed throttle bodies. I changed, I did everything. I boost leak checked the car. We changed O2 sensor. I mean, what I'm getting at is I just left Kyle's shop because right now the car is still currently not fixed.
Oh, good.
Yes. Yeah. And World Cup starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the problem is. It's
What
acting
ECU does it
like
have?
Motec M150.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a Motec M150. The data log shows us that it runs perfect. I mean, in the finals, I made it to the finals. I lost in the finals of our second class, our B group. It made 60 pounds of boost, and it went 162 miles an hour. It should have gone 195. That tune-up was a 750 at 195 tune-up. And you can overlay our tune-ups on the data log, and it looks identical. But the car just won't rev out past like 9,000 RPMs. So I just
Where do you normally rev it to?
10.8, almost 11,000.
Dang, that's cool.
So, yeah. So, but the car comes up and just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It seems like it's mechanical. I built like a spring pressure tester. I just checked my valve springs right before I came here.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
While the head's on the car, I checked it and there's no smoking gun yet.
Yeah.
I built a whole nother cylinder head. I shipped it. Everything's shipped over to Kyle's. So after we leave here, I'll
Cam
probably
issue? I mean, like with the...
looked at the cams. The rockers are good. Cams are good. Cam gears haven't slipped. I have my degree wheel. I can check that, but it fires up. It sounds good. Compression's just did a compression check. Rock solid compression. Like I've never had a motor sound so healthy in its life, but yet make no power. And it's weird because like we turned up the boost. The more we turned it up, the slower it went. Like 50 pounds, it went 8.0 at 174. 55 pounds, it went like 840 at like one. I kept lifting, and then out the back at 60 pounds, all in. I did not lift. It went 844 at 162.
What coils do you run?
It's got IGM-1As, yeah. And so that was the thing. Like my tuner Jason, he's like, well, here, like drop ship me some AEM coils. They're not like Temu. They're not like eBay.
Yeah.
Like say, I mean, I ran some DIY auto tune coils for a long, long time. But they're like they should be pretty reputable. Let's put those on the car. That's what's on them right now. Like I shipped my old coils back. It's weird. Like I don't know what exactly is going on with it. I can change the cylinder head, but I just checked spring pressure. Like it doesn't. Like everything checks fine.
I mean, it could just be like a valve seat is damaged, or like
you would
maybe like
you would hear it on like leak down or compression, or I mean, you crank it and it sounds like factory fresh.
Yeah.
Like I've had a car where it sounds like a rotary when it starts, like nothing. It'll have a galloper just like flat, but man, if it fired up, it will go down the track.
Yeah.
But this thing it has all the compression and it makes no power. So
that's funky.
Yeah, I've 20-something years of doing this and I've never had this issue.
Every time I hear Motec, I always assume that person is a data guy.
I have all the sensors,
How many sensors
everything.
you got
Yep,
on that
I
thing?
have.
I don't even have to think about it because I just know Motec always correlates with like
so
a big data guy.
2 map sensors in the car. You know, there's
EGTs.
There's EGT. So yeah, we have pre-post. I have pre-intercooler temperature, post-intercooler pressure. You know, I know pressure drop across the core.
Yep.
I mean, we have everything.
Motec people always have that stereotype.
Yeah, I mean, data. There's never such thing as too much data.
No,
you know?
absolutely.
And I'm not the tuner of my. I mean, I can get my way across it. Yes, I can try. My tuner does all that stuff, Jason. But you know, data. The more you have, the better.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, it's just for problem solving, for diagnosing. Like when the car runs good, you don't even look at half that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because the car's flying, and you look over some stuff, but then when it starts acting funny. You're like, well, let's look at you know, shaft speed, turbo shaft speed. Well, do we have a boost leak? Is the turbo running away? And it's like, you know, that's when you start looking at all of it. It's when you have an issue.
So last year at World Cup, Victor Induction's car was having an issue where I don't know, about 1,000 feet, it would start to break up.
Okay.
They brought it to the dyno, ran it on the dyno a bunch, never had the problem. It could not replicate it on the dyno.
Sure.
They figured out that at that mile an hour, the hood was arcing onto the top of the coils.
Wow.
The fiberglass front end
was
touching and causing it to arc. But like dyno pull, nothing.
Couldn't replicate it.
Breaking engines, like what? Why would it happen? Why is it happening?
How'd they figure that out?
I don't remember how they found out, but
some footage or
maybe they
footage?
looked under it and saw like there was like
rubbing.
There was probably something.
Yeah.
But they found out that it was arcing under just the mile per hour.
Only on the track.
Yeah, because once you hit 150, then you're gonna find it out.
Sure. Yep.
It's just like the littlest thing you wouldn't even think about.
Yep.
Like you'd chase your tail for that for weeks.
Yeah. Well, I'm about a month in of chasing my tail right now because I left FL2k with a car, and I checked a lot of stuff before I went home. Before I flew home. I checked a lot.
Everyone in this class is also mad that you won misfiring.
I never made a full pass.
A 4-cylinder misfire.
Yeah.
It's not a V10 misfiring where it's
man.
Okay, you know what? It's a V9.
Man, yeah, exactly. I wish I could have ran the car at its full potential. It would have been really cool. I think we could have done very well. You know, I still did well, but you know, it is what it is. It's tough. I mean, anything. It's really race cars. Like the fastest car doesn't always win. You know, it's like any class. You just got to show up. You know, my car's. It's old. It's been around a long time. You know, my wiring harness. I built that harness. It's probably almost 8 or 9 years old. Jason built me a sub harness. I think we had a misfire issue about a year or so back, and he's like, you know what, your harness is old. Let me just build you a new ignition harness. So it's got a brand new ignition harness on it that we just pinned into the Motec and stuff like that. So, I mean. Nothing lasts forever, right? Nothing lasts forever. You know, parts.
They're all consumable. Every piece on that car is a consumable.
Right.
And it sucks to learn that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, damn, spent a lot of money on this thing and it's a consumable.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me
it's no good anymore.
Yeah. And like hard parts, it's like, wait, my whole K member is a consumable because like the bushings and stuff, like everything wears out. It's like, darn, that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. It's not like we're trying to go any slower. We keep pushing these things harder and harder. And I think we kind of talked about that earlier, is the billet block. Like, so there's the H22, like there's no billet block option currently. And so I found the limit at FL2k. I mean, I had TX2k in March. That car went 750 at 195 and it cracked the block. Right in the middle. Like, and I didn't know. I had no idea. It ran perfect.
Yeah.
Had no idea up until I went to change the oil, up until I went to check the oil. No. So I cracked the block like on first round or whatever, and I had a buy run. So I'd cruise it down. I came back, and the car was heating up, and it was getting warm. I was like, why is it getting warm? Like, never gets warm. And I just cruised it down.
Yeah.
And it was like 190, 195. I got back to the pits like right at 200. And like, something's not right. So let the car cool down, and it's like, well, I go to squeeze the radiator hose and there's no pressure. I'm like, that's weird. So I popped the cap off and there's no water in the radiator. I was like, oh, that's not good. And then there didn't smoke, no nothing like that. And so, and I forgot, my buddy was standing right on the fender. And I said, why don't you pull that dipstick right there? And I already knew where this was going. And it's like, so he pulls it and it's like all the way up to the top. It's like milk shaken in half. I'm like, oh my gosh. And the car runs perfect. And so this is now we're into the finals. I had stick shift at TX2K. And what do drag racers do? I'm like, I drain the oil out of it. I drain the water out of it. I was putting fresh oil in it, like, and so then I was running Nick Coleman in the S10. Like that was my, that truck's fast.
He's been fast.
He's been fast. Oh yeah, that was my opponent.
Like 661.
Yeah.
Or
Oh yeah,
something.
he's the fastest right now. He still got the record, I believe.
Currently
he's still
number
marked
1.
safe. Yeah, we hear about that all the time. But yeah, currently number 1. So and he had told me prior, he's like, my truck's hurt. Whatever. He goes like a 680. I'm like, really? Like, how hurt is it?
That's hurt.
Yeah, that's hurt. He's a super cool guy.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And so I'm changing the oil, thrashing to get ready for the finals. And he makes a pass right in front of me, and it goes 680, right? And I'm like, that's hurt. Like, what the heck? So I come back, and he comes up, and he's kind of has like a little walk of shame and like shaking his head, and he's like, you got it. Like, what do you mean? It's like, I blew it up. I was like, there's no way. He's like, I blew it up. And it was me and him in the finals. And it's like you can't make the call. Like, he's like, no, it's grenaded. Like, I'm not gonna make the call. It's all you. You have it. I'm like, well, I finished changing the oil, and I went up there and I got a little bit of flack, a little bit of hate on the internet for not making a pass. So people don't know. Like, I wasn't gonna oil the track down. Like, it was.
Oh,
people
who
are like,
cares?
we're here to watch you race, and you just cruise it down. It's like, I'm not. I wasn't gonna do that. Like,
You're not paid to make a pass.
right. Exactly. I went up there, broke the beams, and cruised it down. Like, like I didn't know where it was leaking water from until I got it back to the shop. But I was like, either the head's cracked or the block's cracked. Something is cracked because the compression was perfect. It's got a fire ring, copper head gasket, fire ring. It doesn't blow a head gasket.
Yeah.
So there was a crack somewhere, and I wasn't gonna find out where the crack was in the finals. Second to last pair of cars down. Exactly.
Wad the thing up on on a solo run.
Exactly. Yeah. So
talk about.
Yeah. So sorry, cruised it down, got the win.
I don't blame you at all. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, parts are still reusable. Like, I mean, it still ran.
I'm not paid. I'm not there for your entertainment.
Yeah, right.
That's not how the drag racing works.
But I mean, and to their credit, they didn't know the car was hurt.
Yeah, of course.
They don't know. So I mean, it's like, oh, that guy he didn't run it out well. They don't know, and so you can't fault them. But is that the limit of the cast block? 195 miles an hour. The car weighed 2650-ish. That's 1600-ish horsepower, somewhere in there, close to it.
Yeah,
it's 1580, 1600, somewhere in there.
That's a lot per hole.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
It's easy to say 1600 on an LS, but you're talking 4 holes.
Right. And I always think about that. It's like, oh, that thing made 1300. It's like, well, just split that in half. That's 650 horsepower.
Yeah.
4-cylinder. We make that all day long. 1,000 and less, our cars will last forever. That's a 2,000 horsepower LS. Like, it's V8. We're literally in half. So it's a lot of stress on this stuff. And so I'm not giving up on the cast block yet. I've cracked one.
You kind of can't give up on it.
I can't. Yeah, there's no other option right now.
Yeah.
There's no other option.
You'd have to just give up on racing if you gave up on the cast.
Right. But that block had a lot of passes on it.
Yeah.
I mean, 40, 50 passes probably on that block.
Do you think there's anything you can do to strengthen them?
Not where it broke. I mean, it's literally the head stud comes down and the main stud comes here, and it's cracked right in between.
Okay.
Like right above the main caps. Like so like the GM, the Ecotechs way back in the day, I don't know if you know about it, but their head bolts and main bolts lined up, and they did one long bolt and literally sandwiched.
It's like a rotary.
Sandwiched the head to the block to the main girdle. Like it was. So that was luck. That was luck. That's all it was. That GM had them line up for some reason.
Just being cheap and lazy.
Yeah, and those are like those cast. Like they look like styrofoam blocks. I don't know if you ever saw those Ecotech motors.
I've seen. I've not seen
they look
them.
like little beads. Like if you look up close, it look like they're like, I don't know how they were made.
Yeah,
but it's like they crushed them together.
I only really hear of them in rumors because you don't see them anymore.
Those are all the Pro 4-wheel drive cars were all those Ecotech motors.
Interesting. Yeah. And in Brazil, I know.
Yep, that's where they are. They all went over there.
They're all in Brazil.
Yeah, all those Pro front wheel, those Cobalts, they're all in Brazil, and they race them over there too, and they're fast.
Yeah, that's why I'm always surprised because I'm like, I see videos and I'm like, oh, that's fast. Why?
Yep.
Why is it not here?
Not here. Yeah.
And we had them here. It's not like a Barra where it's like we didn't have them in the U.S.
Yeah, they started here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it never really made much sense to me.
Yeah, a lot of money. In fact, I mean, it's just big race teams. It's big money thing.
And Chevy was just giving them out willingly.
Yep, they were all sponsored. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep, all factory back. Chevy was building the motors. GM Performance, that was all their baby.
Well, I think if you look at front wheel drive, there's really only 2 other current platforms, and that is the SRT4.
Yeah,
and
Bradley
then
Dillon.
there's somehow a Nissan.
Yes.
SER. That's in there.
They've got some crazy comment. That thing is flying.
Yeah,
yes.
Bradley Dillon and then the Nissan SER.
Yep.
or whatever that deal is.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Some weird Nissan. I think it has a SR
I think
in
it's
it.
an SR20-ish, whatever,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Very cool.
Yes, very cool.
And I saw
think
it
he
at
has
World Cup. I
a
was like,
K-series
sick.
transmission in that Nissan as well. Because I know Bradley put a K-series transmission. So Bradley, he made the power. Like he built the chassis.
Yeah.
Car is super awesome car.
Those engines are tough. I mean, it's just like a block of iron.
Right, exactly. So that was the thing. Like he built a chassis that worked really well, and then he was getting his motor program together, and the next weak link was the transmission. And so then he made smart choice and just did to a K-series.
Yeah.
And so now
He just skipped all the R&D and all the dealing
instead of
with.
making all the own one-off SRT4 transmission, because there's not that many of them, to go to one that's off the shelf.
And rotational wise, it works because isn't that a thing where
it rotates the same way.
they have to rotate because like some
Correct.
Hondas are
The orientation.
different.
Yep. So exactly. Yeah, the K spins the same way as that, and the B and the H do not spin the same way.
And then someday Zach will get his
Yes.
his 6-cylinder show motor done, and that will actually probably change all the rules because that thing can probably make 2,000 horsepower. It's a pretty big motor.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's an interesting class. They had X front wheel drive for a minute, and then they went to sport front. What is it?
It's X front wheel drive now. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what. So they had an X Street.
X Street.
That's the one.
Yes.
So that I loved. So I ran X Street last year at FL2k, and me and Miles were the only all-wheel drive cars there. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, this year it kind of was not welcome back.
I know. I was kind of bummed by that because I almost changed my turbo on my car.
Correct.
Because if I put a 76.9 on or 73.9 on my car and ditched the air to water intercooler, which I thought was kind of a stupid rule.
Sure.
I could have ran that class.
And it was cool because it was
At my
front-wheel
current
drive,
weight.
front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. It was whatever. And there was, I think Chris in his Isuzu S10 thing, he was supposed to come. He didn't show up. So the only two cars that were different were me and Miles.
Import
Yes.
S10.
Hey, it's got a K-series.
I remember talking to those guys because they're like, yeah, it's an import. I'm like, it's an S10.
It's an Isuzu Hombre.
Oh, yeah, it's an Isuzu Hombre. Yeah.
See? It's an import.
My bad.
Yeah.
But it's just an S10 with a different bumper.
Yeah. It is, yeah. With a Honda motor in it.
Yeah.
But I think he was
No,
supposed
the
to
car's
go,
impressive,
Yes.
but because it can race at
Correct.
World Cup, it always gave me a little, I got frustrated about it because I can't race at World Cup
because it's domestic.
with an
It's
import motor.
opposite.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't quite make sense, right?
But they're
Yeah.
an S10.
Right.
Really.
yeah. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that's weird, huh?
So it's like,
Yeah.
because it's a Mexico car, technically.
Imported. Yeah, that is. I completely forgot that yours isn't allowed like that because
Yeah.
of the opposite
it's
rule.
got the crossover.
Yeah, that's
And-
weird.
But people always like to point out that I'm not fully correct because Warriors would allow me. It's like, okay.
Oh, okay. Would you be allowed there? Yeah.
Or like Outlaw versus
Outlaw versus
Extreme
Extreme,
would
yeah, there's no
allow it.
rules there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
not-
one of the higher classes allows
That's
it.
the fastest. Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah.
Of course. Anybody can.
That's
beat
how you
that.
end up with like a GTR with a blower out the hood.
It's world's fastest GTR. I've heard. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It was for, I mean,
was.
wherever it is. I mean, it still is.
Yeah, it's a
Technically,
chassis.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not much GTR.
Yeah. So the X3 was super cool class. Really cool. I liked it because it was different cars. I liked because I used to race with all those front wheel drive people. Like those are my people. And then we went to all wheel drive and then kind of got pushed away. I mean, we couldn't race with them anymore. So then it was stick shift, and I love stick shift. Stick shift group guys are super awesome. Probably the most. Besides the front wheel drive cars, I don't know if it's hard-headed, hardcore, or crazy. Like, there's no give up in any of these guys.
Yeah.
Like, you don't give up. You break a lot of parts and you just keep going until you can't go anymore. But X Street let all the cars race back together again in all the different chassis combinations, like I said. And
I thought they had a good rule set.
It did. And so I think Miles qualified number 1. I botched mine and qualified number 3. I think Wes Spry qualified number 2, front-wheel drive car. And then
How fast did you go in that trim?
so 790, 790s we ran, is what we ran. It could go faster.
Yeah.
When Miles didn't make a spectacular pass. I was still slipping the clutch. I never made a spectacular pass, but they knew what it could run. Probably 770 is what we could run, but so could the front wheel drive cars.
Yeah.
But the problem is that what I've been told is that they can't run that 770 in the heat of the day okay, during eliminations. They can run that at night in qualifying. And so then there's the unfair advantage of, well, you can run that all day long, and these people can only ride in these conditions.
Oh, they would have really hated if I showed up with a 73 on my car with a power glide.
Yeah.
Because my car would have went like a 60 or a 50
All day long.
with that turbo.
No problem.
And like,
Yeah. So they scratched it. So
it would have
there's
definitely hurt the class a little.
yeah, right. Yeah, and so we hurt the class and didn't even really show full potential.
Yeah.
But they're smart. They know what we can run, and it is what it is. So then they got rid of it. So now it's just X Street. And then so like when I came back, my option was stick shift or all-wheel drive versus DCT, and then that's what I picked. All-wheel drive versus DCT.
I also found it weird that even stick shift at World Cup, they don't allow front-wheel drive cars. Was that? I thought the rule said.
I think so.
Which I found kind of funky.
I mean,
they're trying to keep them in.
Yeah, they have their own class.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I can get where it goes is that you're not fast enough to qualify in the front-wheel drive class, so then you'll just kind of be a class filler in stick shift, and it don't.
Still people trying to make the show.
Right, still trying to make the show. You know, they're gonna push it to the limit.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's not. There's classes for you.
Yeah.
And that's not the one.
Just felt weird to like kind of kick them because
Yeah.
they could run a different turbo. They'd have a different combo almost.
Sure.
That you could run it more all out. If put it into
classes like
stick
FL2k.
Yeah.
To where it's not 6 second. It's all one field.
Yeah.
Right. So then that's how FL2k works is because there's 3 fields, and so a front wheel drive car is highly competitive in say the second field or the third field.
Yeah.
So it makes it fair. I can see that.
Yeah. I wonder, Victor's not bringing Goldie up to World Cup. He's just I think he's just bringing the Supra.
Is he?
Yeah. I don't think
I don't know
Goldie
if he
was
is or not.
registered.
Okay, was he not? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool to see him bring
Sure.
Goldie. I know he likes driving that
Yeah,
car.
he loves it. Yeah.
That car's got a lot of history too.
It
I
does.
guess, in
The
the
car has a
football
lot of
drive
history.
world.
Absolutely. Yep.
Maps car.
Yep. Maps old car. That car it's crazy because that car is won with every different driver. And that's really cool.
Even Dennis drove it.
Yep.
One
Yep.
event
Yep.
and won with it.
Yeah. Every driver that's driven that car has won with it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's super cool.
That car's got such a it's such an interesting class. It really is because like those guys go all out. Like
That's what I said.
Those cars are legitimately mini pro mods, like
They are.
Victor always says.
Yep, they are 100%. Yep, and I was one of them.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of money, it's at the extreme, and going all-wheel drive is no cheaper, because then you just add a whole ton of all-wheel drive components behind it that are not cheap. But we don't.
There's more to break.
There's more to break, exactly. And that was one thing, what they said is like, well, y'all don't push y'all's cars as hard to run that 7-second pass. Like, well, first off, like, so when we ran the class, what were we just talking about? The class,
The
street, X Street.
Yeah, X Street. Yep.
So we had to weigh 2,750 all-wheel drive. So they're at 2,400. So
Yeah.
we're 350 pounds heavier than what they ran. Now, granted, my car weighs 2,600 regardless, but I still had to put over 100 pounds in my car to get it to weight. So you're telling me that that's not as much wear and tear on parts? Like, that's a lot.
You didn't use sandbags?
Yeah.
I saw Kyle Boosted Boy's car come down from a wheelie once, and where'd all that sand come from?
Whoops.
But that's Kyle.
Yeah. Hey, weight is weight, right? Until it isn't.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like putting like a bag of water up there.
Yeah.
Just makes a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff's cool. What was I gonna say about the front wheel drive classes, like the mini pro mods?
Yep.
I've gotten pretty close to like Damon and Nicole Elf.
Sure. Oh yeah.
That car is really competitive.
That's a data king and queen right there.
Yes.
That is the data man himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motec on everything.
Everything.
Maybe
He's got
2 of them.
Sensors on sensors on sensors.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that car is always fun to watch
Yeah.
go down because they're always trying something a little different.
Sure.
And they run their program very different than it seems like a lot of the other class.
Absolutely. Yeah. They had their aero package, the active aero, a little bit before. I think some of the other people too. He was testing that stuff.
Well, it's scary watching them try to shut those things down sometimes.
That's the most dangerous part. Yeah. And people always ask me, it's like, oh, do you realize you're going so fast? And it's like, you don't. Like, you're so focused on going down the track. And when you probably experienced it, when you know how fast you're going is when it's time to shut it down.
Yeah.
That's when you realize how fast you're going. going down the track, you're just going through gears, you're doing your thing, whatever. But when it's time to slow down, the car gets unhappy, unsettles, moves around a little bit, then you see the end of the track coming up quick, like that's when you know how fast you're going.
Yeah, and a lot of people that they decide too late to dump the chute. It's like, I don't think I need it.
Oh, then by the time you need it,
brakes,
it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know there's always debate on the front wheel drive guys like, oh, do you dump the chute into the throttle? Like, I always dump the chute before I'm off the gas.
Same here. If you watch my videos, like my chute's out 1,200 feet. I mean, I hit it.
Yeah.
And it's deployed. It doesn't come out till after. But I hit it before I'm even through the traps.
Yeah.
And I drive into the chute like it's...
How do you balance, because I know you put together a lot of this stuff and you probably have a bunch of customers at World Cup. How do you balance having to help them if they need something?
Man, that's tough. There was some times that I did build some stuff at World Cup, and there's like a fine line you can walk. Like transfer cases, I build like 95% of the transfer cases out there.
Yeah.
I build all the ones for GP1, all marks. I build all of those. So most of the all-wheel drive cars have come through me. They're time consuming. Like I can't do those at the track. Like I did Miles's at FL2k because it was supposed to be done beforehand. And he had me the stuff, and I was so behind in the shop, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I told him, if you break it, I will build you another one at the track.
He broke it on purpose.
So yeah, right, yeah. I don't think he did. Yeah, definitely not. So, so I not necessarily owed it to him, but I'm a man of my word and say, I'm not going to leave you hanging. So I pre-made shims, like I have a surface grinder, like I pre-made stuff that I know would get me close, and then it was 6 hours, and Miles was there with me. He's like, dude, I said, yeah, it's time consuming. It's a long time of just this and that and this and that. And so I'll help people work on cars, like fix things, like if we need to. Like I have a welder in my trailer, in my RV, I have a welder there. Like it's at World Cup. That's the thing. Like everybody helps everybody, and and if you're not working on your car, you're pretty much working on somebody else's car, helping somebody else.
But that just, I feel like it backs you almost into like a weird spot of like, I can't. Like,
right, I can't. Right. And there's times that
it's like, but it's broken right here in my hand. Like, I can't.
Your car's going to come first. Like, I'm not going to not work on my car to work on your stuff. And I haven't been put in that situation too many times. But I have finished my car and then worked on other people's stuff. But yeah, it's tough. Like, it's hard to say no. I'm definitely not a person to say no, but you have to. Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's hard to. It's hard in that situation where like round one is tomorrow morning. Like we got all night. It's like can't.
It can't. Yeah, and everybody puts the same amount, dedicates the same amount of time and money, and it's hard to because you know how much work it took to get there.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat, and it's hard to say no.
Especially when it's like your part to begin with.
Yeah.
But it's like you didn't break it. Like
right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we all prepare.
Spare.
We all prepare. That's what I was just getting at. We all prepare. I have a spare one. You kind of had to have two of everything.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way you treat World Cup. I had 2 engines, 2 transmissions, 2 transfer cases, spare axle. I mean, everything besides electronics. Besides ECU, you got spare sensors. You have turbos. It's like
RV parts a lot of the time.
RV
Generator
parts,
part for the RV.
Absolutely. I got a spare set of universal joints in the RV now too because I lost some on the way to FL2k.
Yeah.
Change those in a parking lot. So now there's a spare set.
Because the tow rigs seem to want to break more than the cars half the time.
Correct. Like you have all the tools in your trailer, and like I have the welder with me. It's like, okay, cool. I've used it plenty of times at the track, but shoot, you may have to weld on the trailer. You may have to weld on your tow rig, your RV, your truck. Like all those tools are universal. It's not just for the track. It's for from the moment you leave to the moment you get back. Anything can happen.
Well, that's why, I mean, you sound pretty equipped for like a drag and drive. Yeah. I know you did the King of the Open Road, but that's not like...
No, I'd love to do... That's a
it's
single day.
It's not quite like a...
No.
Yeah, it's a single day deal.
Huge difference. Huge difference.
Yeah,
it's still 250 miles we drove in a day, but that's one day of a week long.
Go do Sick Week where it's like 5 tracks.
5 of those.
5 days,
right.
5 tracks, 4 tracks-ish,
4
same track twice.
Right.
It'd be great to see you come out for that
I'd love
to beat Rob.
Hey, Rob's a friend of mine.
I know, Rob's a friend of mine
Rob's a
too.
guy, yeah. Rob,
I
he's
love
got that car.
Rob race.
He's got that car dialed in.
It's just so nice.
It is. It looks so stock, so unappealing.
Like the wheels fit so good.
The tire and wheel package. The tire and wheel package. Even driving down the road, like it looks.
I know.
It looks.
I'm
proper.
not like the biggest Honda guy, but I'm like, I want that car.
Because it's so subtle. It's so subtle. Like it's nothing gaudy. Like
It's so fast. Like it
It's
works
fast.
so well.
Yep. But that's what he built that car for. Like
Yeah.
he's got that car figured out for that, and it works and it
Yeah.
shows. Like he knows where it fits, and that's where it fits in. You know, it's not competitive in our type of racing, but it is 100% competitive at what he built it for.
Well, it's perfect because he's done like 20 Dragon drives
Right?
with it. It seems like.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's a super nice car. Yeah. I want to do one.
He's helped me work on my car on the side of the road.
Sure. Yep.
As one does.
Yep. I want to do one this year. I mean, we'll see if schedule allows it to. But like I said, I have the Prelude for a drag and drive, and I would need to build a little trailer. It's already got a trailer hitch, so my parachute mount doubles as a trailer hitch.
Yeah.
So you take the parachute off, and there's a receiver hitch. I already built that. It's all built in. So I made preparations for it. Now next is have to make a trailer and all that stuff.
Well, they have that sick freaks class that is
That's what Rob was
it's
in.
such a good class
Yeah.
for Dragon drives. That's what I won this year at
Yeah.
Sick Week.
Yeah.
Or February? Yeah, February this year. So that class is just
Super
so good because all of us besides one person had an 850 limited cage.
Okay.
So you could go
you're
as fast as you wanted,
Yep.
but we were all 850 capped anyways, so
Yeah.
it made it like this.
Perfect. Like an index,
Yeah,
unofficial index class.
pretty much. Yeah,
Closest
like,
to 850.
it was NHRA limited pretty much the whole class.
Yeah. It was
There was one Buick Grand National, like a GNX, and I was like, oh shit, he's got a 2530. Like
Okay.
he can
What
go
did he run
faster.
out? No.
He 980 on the first day. He like botched it because
Okay.
he only got one pass on the first day, and I was like, well, cooked. If you don't, unless he can go like a 690 and bring his average all the way
That's
down,
it.
like he's
That was the only slip he turned in that day?
yeah. There was only one slip that day
Oh, wow.
because there was a what happened, like a big oil down.
Okay.
They were like, no more racing today.
Then you have to give everybody the opportunity
Yep.
because they probably botched some of the people that made that second round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just like, too bad. You got to
Yeah.
go home.
Dang, that's tough.
So you got to go to the next track type of the deal. You only got one hit that day. So if you didn't make a good hit that first day,
That was it.
that whole event was ruined for you.
No matter, you can't make up the average.
Yeah. And it's not on the event. It's
Sure.
just oil downs.
That's luck of the draw. That's part of it, right? That's what makes it. You got to have your program figured out. That first pass counts. Like
I got lucky with an 8.52.
wow.
I was like, I didn't know what it was going to run.
Yeah.
I did not have it dialed in for an 8.5 at all.
And I like the reaction time deal that he has there too.
Yeah.
To where it makes it like you're racing somebody.
Yeah,
You
actually
have to-
competitive.
Competitive, right? Yeah. Instead of just I'm gonna leave when I want to.
People see heads up racing.
Right.
like,
Yeah.
And they make cars that are in the same speed-ish
Sure.
run together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun one. It'd definitely be cool to see more
Sure. Yeah.
Honda stuff and
Yeah.
more
So the Prelude,
diversity.
it's got 850 cage in it. It's gone 861, 174 was the fastest pass it's gone. That was it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can go faster when it needs to. Right now, it doesn't need to.
Bring a couple axles and
Yeah. It's got drive shaft shop axles, so we're not really worried about that. But you need anything and everything.
Yeah.
You don't know what happens.
well, like that's the other flip side is like it's hard to acquire those parts sometimes.
Yep.
Like some cars, it's easy to acquire
Yeah.
parts
There's
for
no
on the road.
You can't find that axle anywhere. Like it's.
Yeah.
You'd have to order it from. You'd have to order it from them, or you could get. I think a stock. You can get a stock element axle would work, but it's
Yeah.
not to that. It'll get you down the track. It'll get you down the road, but it's not to that level of.
Maybe a parts call
Maybe a parts call.
emergency.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
who in Orlando area,
May
who
have
in
something.
Gainesville's
Yeah.
got one,
Yeah.
wants to drive one out, which is always fun to see. Like,
Sure.
oh yeah, these have been sitting for 3 months anyways. Like,
Yeah,
just replace
I'm not
them.
going to use them. Yeah, just send them back. Exactly. Send
Yeah.
me a replacement. Yeah.
I got lucky. I stole a fuel pump seal from Damon.
Okay.
Thankfully,
Mechanical
had
pump
it.
was leaking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on the cam.
Sure.
It was just spraying, wouldn't even make pressure. It was just, it
Oh,
was
wow.
rough.
Okay. Was it leaking in? Well, yours is external, mounts outside.
Yeah, mounts
Yeah.
on the outside of the cam, but it was leaking right
Yeah.
on the outside. And it was funny because Damon has the same pump.
Okay.
And I asked him, I was like, oh, do you bring like a spare seal for that? And he's like, yeah, I got 2 spare seals with me.
Y'all talked about it.
28 hours later,
Oh, no.
I was calling him asking for the seal.
Nope. I used them both, actually. I don't have any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was behind me in the, like, I was at a checkpoint ahead of him, and I was like, okay, cool. He'll eventually show up, and I just corner him and take
Yeah.
the seal.
Yeah. I know he has two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a spare.
Yeah. He already told me. Wow. You got lucky there.
I know that I asked him that I even thought about it
Sure.
because, like, I don't know. I had maybe 50 street miles on the car before I took it on that.
Oh,
I
wow.
was like,
New
oh.
pump as well?
It was a fresh pump, yeah.
Okay.
but ish. Yeah. But I didn't know what the car was going to run into. I didn't know what kind of problems you're going to run into. It's like, I always joke, you can test a car for 200 miles, but then that 201st mile is going to be the one where it breaks.
Once you think it's ready, it's ready, and then the first turn you make,
Yeah. You see that all the time where people are like right outside the track, under the hood, and it's
dang. Yeah, I've done, I think, 4 of the King of the Open Roads of the Prelude. And I kind of joked about it. It's like the first 3 did the drives no problem, but we had new car gremlins going down the track. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like I usually build a car to go down the track, and now this one doesn't. And, and then finally that last time
Jared does a good job with those, it seems like.
He does. They're super cool. He really puts the history, the historic stuff. Very scenic. I'll be honest with you. Didn't know Oklahoma had so much cool things. There's hills in Oklahoma and mountains and wildlife, and I thought it was just flat and dry, but no, there's some really pretty parts of Oklahoma that we drove through. Yeah. So he spends time making the route, and it's really, really cool. Yeah, it's fun.
Well, we'll wrap this up. Where can people find you? They follow you for hopefully you're making it with no misfires to World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Instagram's Aaron Lopez H22. I mean, that's what I've been known for. Facebook, Aaron Lopez, and website, thefewh22crew.com.
Thefewh22. All right. Everything will be in the bio description down below. Go follow him, check him out, keep up with the World Cup, because this will come out before that. So
awesome.
People can see what's going on.
Hope I get this lack of power thing figured out.
Yeah.
So if y'all see me, ask me what it is. Hopefully we get it figured out.
Go check on him at World Cup. Yeah. Maybe bring him a Red Bull or something.
Or a hug or something. If I look stressed out, we haven't figured it out yet.
Good deal. All right. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for listening.